So, this is what I want to talk about. Would you rather master one thing or be good at so many things? Like be good at everything, you're good at everything. Or would you rather master one thing? Well, that's interesting. Here's how I'll answer that question. To me, if we're talking about everyday life, just everyday life as in just being a good writer, listener, being a good friend, being able to cook, and that sort. I'd rather be good at everything, that everyday life. I'd rather be a jack of all trades. But if we're talking about, a skill set, or we're looking for skill sets that would monetize, right? Or for the one that will fetch you a more lucrative career prospect, then definitely I'd rather master one thing, right? I mean, that's what we do. We specialize in one subject, and each day we try to get better at it. And if you're really good at it, I'll give you an example. Do you think people would have loved somebody like, I could pick up anybody. Let's see, some kind of singer. Let's say Michael Jackson, right? People know Michael Jackson because of his singing. Not because Michael Jackson knows how to make eggs, or Michael Jackson knows, as a good listener. No, we know Michael Jackson because he can sing, and he can sing really well, right? Michael Jordan, he could play basketball, right? Well, let's get into the basketball aspect of this, right? Of this conversation. Why I say that? Because right now, with the void of LeBron, because a lot of people believe that LeBron is the best player, right? Like I said earlier. With that void being there, because clearly right now, they know he's not the best player. People have come to realize that. Some diehard fans still believe he is, and I understand that. I totally understand that, Emotionally, they're invested, so it's hard to let go of that. So I totally understand that. But for those that believe that he's not the best player, they're looking for something similar to LeBron, to replace LeBron, which is usually, it's human nature. We tend to do that. Look for something similar. We think inside a box, we're not looking for something different. Just kind of like we go back in history, the way the game was played, it was the big guys, the big men were the best players. And until, like Jordan came, he was smaller. And first, like they had issues with Jordan being the best player. They just didn't think he would translate to the player that he was, Adidas didn't want him. They thought he was too small. But anyway, I keep bringing that all the time. Let's go back to master one thing or good at everything. Now, this is when we come to players that usually I hear the conversation, the debate is, well, so-and-so can do this, so-and-so can also do that, so-and-so can shoot, so-and-so can defend, so-and-so can blah, 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 so-and-so can do so many things. A well-rounded player. That is why he is the best player. I mean, that's good. That's really good. But so-and-so that is so well-rounded, is he winning? Because the ultimate thing is to win, right? That's what I look at. You bring your skill set, whether you're good at so many little things and you're a well-rounded player, but is all that translating to winnings? That's the most important thing. That's why everybody plays, to win. I think we're together until there, right? Or would you rather have a player that masters one thing or be the best at it, right? And wins. A well-rounded player that can do so many things but does not win, or one player that has mastered one thing and is okay on some of the other things but wins. Yes, a wise man. I love Bruce Lee. And I recall one time Bruce Lee said something like this, right? He is scared of a man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times more than a man that has practiced 10,000 kicks once. Right? I don't know if that makes sense and all that. It wasn't, I'm not repeating that, it's not verbatim, but he put it in that kind of way, meaning that he's scared of a person that has practiced one kick over and over and over and over and mastered that one kick, right? That is so lethal at that. It is so lethal because he has mastered it. But he's not scared of somebody that can kick, that has so many different types of kick and has not mastered them. So they're not that lethal. They're not that strong, not that powerful. He's not scared of that. And that's what I'm talking about. Going back to what we're talking about, mastering or just knowing a whole lot. Now, okay, when I say knowing a whole lot, when we talk about these players, I mean, they do know a whole lot, and meaning they're not just good, they're above average, but they have not mastered. If you look at the game today, I think there's only one player who has mastered one thing in the game of basketball, and that is Stephen Curry. Today's game, there's not one player, not a single other player that has mastered one thing. When you talk about dunking, we don't have the best dunker of all time playing in the game today. In-game dunker. I'm not talking about, just, dunk competition and people do all kind of crazy stuff. In-game, I would give that to some of the old heads back in the day. They were a lot better. I think best in-game, personally, I would give it to Sean Kemp. There's Sean Kemp and Dominique. Those two, I like them. Nobody right now. I mean, it's debatable though. It's debatable. I mean, you could have somebody, but it's debatable. It's not concrete. All right. Handles, debatable. It's debatable. I mean, everything is just debatable out there. But clearly, you hear everybody, just kind of like when Michael Jordan was playing, he was the undisputed, right? No arguing there. He was the best player. And right now, when you talk about shooting, Stephen Curry. No arguing there. Off the ball, Stephen Curry. Long range, Stephen Curry. Free throws, Stephen Curry. You get what I'm saying? I'm talking about career, not just this season, right? Playing in the league right now, Stephen Curry. Now we do have, and I know people love to look at scoring, so you're like, oh no, you're just catering to what you want to say and all that. We can do it. Okay, whoa. Let's slow down on that. Okay, let's go back. Today's game, we look at scorers, and Stephen Curry is not a prolific scorer. Right now, it has to be KD. He's not even the best player in his own team. So it's KD. All right. But Stephen Curry has done all that. He has won the scoring title. And in that very same year, steals per game. The only other two people that have been able to do that, scoring title and steals, Michael Jordan and Allen Iverson. Right, he's done that, so we know he can score. All right, is he the best scorer? No, he's not. Can he put up crazy numbers? 20 points in a quarter. I think he's done that over 25 times. So he can score. We know he can score when he needs to score. When he needed to score, he did that. And some people are like, all right, so he's a point guard. His assist and all that. He led his team in assists when he needed to. 2014, back then, he had to do everything. Kind of like some of the other players, what the other players are doing when his team was not winning. When he was trying to get his team over the hump. Kind of like right now, people are talking about James Harden. He's got to do so much. Well, Steph had to do so much also back in them days. He had 16 assists per game. He's done that before, not once, multiple times, right? Steals 7+ in a game, not once, multiple times. I know we talk about he's not a great defender, but tell me, you lead the league in steals, you're stealing the rock from the other team that is defending, right? Right. Okay, most points scored in a quarter, of course, is Klay Thompson. That is facilitated by the gravity of Curry. Most points in the half by a team. No, most points in the quarter. Most points in the quarter by a team. 51 points. Warriors playing against the Nuggets. Facilitated. Right? Stephen Curry's gravity and everything that he was doing in that game. And heck, he had 4 threes in that game, in that quarter. Clay and KD 3 apiece. All right. Most points in the half. That's held by, I think, Phoenix. Phoenix had 107 against the Denver Nuggets, I think. This is sometime back in 1990. But the Warriors also had 92 points. 92 and a half against the Chicago Bulls. 2018, last year. They did that. This is when Clay had 10 3-pointers and a half. Guess who was playing? Guess who was facilitating? Stephen Curry. See, he doesn't have to keep scoring like the way he did, because now all he wants to do is win. And that is what makes a great player. Sun Tzu. When you're strong, act weak. When you're weak, act strong. So when they were not winning, he was doing all that. Now they're winning. He doesn't have to keep scoring. Because the game is so much more than just scoring. There's so many things you have to do. There's so many great scorers who were scoring so many points that never won it all. That never won it all. But when you're winning, it can be a one-man team. It's got to be a team effort. And that is what makes the best players. Somebody that understands all that. All right, so... oh no, you look at his personal achievement and all that. He can't be the best player. He can't be, there's so many other players. Come on, man. 3-point leader in 5 straight years from 2014 all the way to 2017. Scored the most 3-pointers in the league. All right, most threes in a regular season, over 400. This brother has done it all. Most threes in the playoffs. And those that keep talking about, oh, he can be the best player because he's never won finals MVP. But guess what? Most points in the fourth quarter in an NBA finals game, he's tied with KD, Shaq, Russ. So when it matters, when the game is on the line, this brother can do it. I know a lot of people keep talking about, oh, in the finals this. You all know last year he got robbed. He should have had that finals MVP. And when they won the first time, when Iggy won it, Iggy, well, I'm not going to say he didn't deserve it. He played a really good game. He defended LeBron really well. But there you go. He was defending LeBron, where a lot of people thought of LeBron as the best player. So him defending him well, they gave him the title because everybody was so focused on LeBron. Forgetting who got him there. Forgetting who made everything possible for them to win. Stephen Curry. He got robbed. But anywho, you can't say he got robbed. It is what it is. Great efficiency. In the club, 50, 40, 90s. He's in that club. Free throws. Career. I think he's only the best percentage he's ever had. I think Steve Kerr is number 1 and then him number 2. He's got 14 of those? 14, 10 3-pointers in the game. That's just ridiculous, man. That's just crazy. And he scored back-to-back 10 threes in the game. He did that one time, consecutive games, did it this game and then the next game. So he's done it. He's done all that. But one thing he has been very consistent at is winning. And that's why the game is played. It's all about winning. It's winning. It's not just having great individual achievement or stats. It's about winning. Just so they do not mess up their stat line and the field goal percentage. He doesn't do that. He will shoot that last shot He's done it over and over and over again. And yet his efficiency is still up there. He will take that shot. At any cost, you gotta win. I think that's his mindset. And that's why he keeps winning. And that is why I keep saying he is the best player. And now, the Giannis, the James Harden, some people are talking about James Harden. Those names keep popping up. But I don't know, I guess it's just his size.